authorities in Los Angeles have been giving more details about their investigation into the deaths of the actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa.
Gene Hackman's cause of death revealed. It is tragic, sad. Officials tonight say the actor's wife died a week before Hackman.
Autopsies have revealed Gene Hackman and his wife died a week apart.
The sudden and mysterious passing of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. As the world grapples with the loss of these two individuals, Clint Eastwood, a longtime friend and collaborator of Hackman, has broken his silence to reflect on their profound bond and the enigmatic circumstances surrounding their deaths. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Gene Hackman, a two-time Academy Award-winning actor, was discovered deceased alongside his wife, Betsy Arakawa, in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home on February 26, 2025. The couple, married since 1991, had been living a relatively private life away from the limelight. Their unexpected demise has left many questions unanswered, prompting an ongoing investigation into the causes of their deaths. Clint Eastwood, who directed and starred alongside Hackman in the critically acclaimed film Unforgiven, expressed his deep sorrow upon learning of the tragic news. Eastwood and Hackman shared a camaraderie that extended beyond the silver screen, their mutual respect evident in their collaborations. Eastwood's reflections on Hackman's legacy highlight the profound impact Hackman had on the film industry and those who knew him personally. The circumstances of the couple's deaths have been shrouded in mystery. Initial reports indicated that both Hackman and Arakawa were found without signs of external trauma, and authorities quickly ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning as a cause. The couple's bodies were discovered in different rooms, with Hackman found in the mudroom and Arakawa in the bathroom near a portable heater, along with prescription medications scattered nearby. One of their 3 dogs was also found deceased, adding to the perplexity of the situation. Forensic experts have proposed various theories regarding the couple's sudden passing. Dr. Michael Baden, a renowned forensic pathologist, suggested that Hackman, who had a history of heart disease and a pacemaker, may have suffered a fatal cardiac event. Arakawa, upon discovering her husband's condition, might have experienced a traumatic incident herself, possibly a fall leading to a fatal injury, or succumbed to a medical condition exacerbated by the stress of the situation. This theory aligns with the absence of external injuries and the lack of evidence pointing toward foul play. The discovery of prescription medications near Arakawa's body has led investigators to consider the possibility of an accidental overdose or a medical emergency. However, without concrete evidence, these remain speculative. Toxicology reports and further autopsy results are pending, which may shed light on the exact causes of death. The couple's reclusive lifestyle in their Santa Fe residence has added layers of complexity to the investigation. Neighbors and acquaintances described them as private individuals who valued their solitude. This seclusion meant that their absence went unnoticed for several days, delaying the discovery of their bodies and potentially complicating the determination of the time and cause of death. Clint Eastwood's reflections on Hackman's life and career serve as a poignant reminder of the actor's immense contributions to cinema. Hackman's performances were characterized by their depth and authenticity, earning him accolades and the admiration of peers and audiences alike. Eastwood's sentiments echo the collective grief of the film community, mourning not only the loss of a remarkable actor, but also a cherished friend. As investigations continue, the film industry and fans worldwide await clarity on the circumstances surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. Their passing underscores the fragility of life and the often unpredictable nature of our existence. In honoring their memories, we reflect on their lives, their contributions, and the enduring legacy they leave behind. The loss of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa is a profound reminder of the transient nature of life. As Clint Eastwood and others who knew them reflect on their lives, it becomes evident that their legacy will endure, not only through Hackman's cinematic achievements, but also through the personal connections and memories shared with those who knew them best. In the face of such a mysterious and tragic event, the world pauses to honor their lives and the indelible mark they left on the hearts of many. In the wake of this tragedy, the film community has come together to celebrate Hackman's illustrious career. His roles in films such as The French Connection, Hoosiers and the Royal Tenenbaums showcased his versatility and dedication to his craft. Colleagues have shared anecdotes highlighting Hackman's professionalism, humility, and the profound influence he had on the industry. Betsy Arakawa, though less in the public eye, was a talented classical pianist and businesswoman. Her partnership with Hackman was marked by mutual respect and admiration. Together, they navigated the challenges of Hollywood, choosing a life of relative seclusion in their later years. Their bond serves as a testament to enduring love and companionship. As the investigation unfolds, authorities remain committed to uncovering the truth behind their untimely deaths. The absence of clear evidence has led to various speculations, but officials urge patience as they meticulously examine all possibilities. The pending toxicology reports are anticipated to provide crucial insights that may resolve lingering questions. Clint Eastwood's tribute to Hackman and Arakawa resonates deeply within the entertainment industry. His words encapsulate the sentiments of many who admired Hackman's work and cherished his friendship. Eastwood's reflections also highlight the personal loss felt by those who shared meaningful moments with the couple. The passing of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa has prompted a collective reflection on the impermanence of life. It serves as a reminder to cherish our loved ones and acknowledge the fleeting nature of our existence. Their legacy, both personal and professional, will continue to inspire and influence future generations. The sudden and tragic passing of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, continues to be one of the most perplexing and heartbreaking events in recent Hollywood history. The couple, known for their deep bond and quiet life away from the spotlight, had spent decades together, forging a partnership built on mutual love and admiration. While fans mourn the loss of one of cinema's greatest actors, the mystery surrounding their deaths only deepens, prompting further speculation and intense investigation. The lack of clear answers has left both law enforcement and those closest to them searching for explanations, and the void created by their passing is immeasurable. Clint Eastwood, an iconic actor and filmmaker in his own right, has finally spoken about his longtime friend's passing. Having worked closely with Hackman on the 1992 film Unforgiven, Eastwood understood the depth of Hackman's talent and the unique personality that made him such a revered figure in Hollywood. Their working relationship extended beyond a single film. They shared a deep respect for each other's craft, and Eastwood often cited Hackman as one of the most natural actors he had ever encountered. For Eastwood, the news of Hackman's death was more than just the loss of a former colleague. It was the end of an era. Hackman had retired from acting in 2004, choosing to spend his remaining years in quiet reflection rather than continue performing. Yet his influence never faded, and his absence was always felt in Hollywood, where fans and filmmakers alike continued to admire his past performances. Eastwood, who has also largely stepped away from the limelight in his later years, undoubtedly felt the weight of losing a friend who shared a similar philosophy about storytelling and authenticity in film. Beyond the emotional toll, Eastwood's comments shed light on just how sudden and unexplained the loss of Hackman and Arakawa truly was. The reports of their bodies being discovered in separate rooms, the presence of prescription medications, and the dead dog found nearby all contribute to an eerie narrative. With no immediate signs of foul play or forced entry, authorities have been left to analyze subtle clues that may reveal what really happened in their final moments. The portable heater found near Arakawa's body has also raised questions about whether toxic fumes or an undetected leak could have played a role in their deaths. Medical experts have been brought in to determine if there were any underlying health conditions that may have contributed to their passing. Hackman, at 94 years old, was undoubtedly at an age where health complications were a concern, but he was known to be active and in relatively good health for his age. His wife, only 63, was even more of a mystery in terms of health concerns. Friends of the couple have said that Arakawa had no known serious medical conditions, making her sudden death all the more baffling. Toxicology reports, which may take weeks to process, are expected to provide more definitive answers, but until then, speculation continues to grow. Some have theorized that the couple may have fallen victim to an environmental hazard within their home. While initial checks ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning, experts have pointed out that other toxins or even mold exposure could have played a role. Santa Fe's dry climate isn't typically associated with mold-related illnesses, but prolonged exposure to certain toxins in enclosed spaces can lead to respiratory issues and sudden health events. Investigators have not yet ruled out this possibility, and further inspections of the house are expected to take place. One of the most unsettling aspects of their passing is the timeline of events. Authorities believe they may have been deceased for several days before being discovered, raising questions about why neither of them was able to call for help. In today's world, where mobile phones provide instant access to emergency services, it is unusual for both individuals to have passed without any attempt to contact someone. If one had fallen ill, it would be expected that the other would seek help immediately, making their simultaneous deaths all the more chilling. For those who knew Hackman personally, this loss is deeply personal. The actor was known not just for his incredible talent, but also for his strong personality and unwavering dedication to his work. He was a methodical and disciplined actor, someone who believed in fully inhabiting his roles. From The French Connection to Unforgiven, he brought an intensity to the screen that few could match. Betsy Arakawa, though not as publicly known as her husband, played a significant role in his life. Their love story was one of quiet devotion, with Arakawa supporting Hackman's decision to retire from acting and focus on writing and other creative pursuits. She had been a steady presence in his life since the early 1990s, and those close to them described their relationship as one of deep mutual respect. The idea that they would pass away within hours of each other, if not simultaneously, is tragic and perplexing. Their deaths have also reignited discussions about aging in Hollywood. Hackman was one of a handful of actors from his generation who chose to step away from acting entirely, rather than take on lesser roles as he aged. Unlike some of his contemporaries, he never made a return to the screen, instead focusing on writing novels and enjoying a more private life. His decision to retire at the top of his game is something that Eastwood, now in his 90s himself, has commented on in the past. While Eastwood has continued directing and acting well into old age, Hackman chose a different path, leaving behind a body of work that remains untouched by later, less remarkable performances. The sudden nature of their deaths also raises broader questions about how the public views celebrity mortality. When icons of Hackman's stature pass away, there is often a wave of tributes and reflections on their careers, but in this case, the circumstances of their deaths have added a layer of unease. Instead of a celebration of a life well lived, there is an air of unfinished business, an unsettling feeling that something remains unknown. The response from the Hollywood community has been one of sorrow and disbelief. Fellow actors and filmmakers who worked with Hackman have shared their memories, but there is also a sense of frustration that answers have been slow to emerge, while authorities have urged patience, stating that investigations of this nature take time. There is an undeniable feeling of urgency among those seeking closure. Clint Eastwood's own reflections on Hackman's passing serve as a reminder of the deep bonds formed between actors who respect each other's craft. Their collaboration on Unforgiven remains one of the most celebrated in modern cinema, a film that not only won multiple Academy Awards, but also cemented Hackman's legacy as one of the greatest actors of his time. Eastwood's admiration for Hackman was evident in their work together, and his words now carry a weight of genuine sorrow. As the investigation continues, the public remains fixated on every new detail that emerges. The possibility that their deaths were entirely natural yet eerily coincidental is difficult to accept, while the alternative, that something more sinister was at play, is equally unsettling. Authorities have been careful not to jump to conclusions, but the lack of a clear cause of death only fuels further speculation. For Clint Eastwood and others who knew him well, this loss is a deeply personal one. It is not just the loss of a former colleague, but of a friend, a creative force, and a man whose presence left an indelible mark on those around him. As the world waits for more answers, one thing remains certain: Hackman's contributions to film and his memory will endure long beyond the questions surrounding his final days. The passing of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, continues to be an unsolved mystery that has captivated both the public and the entertainment industry. While tributes continue to pour in from actors, directors, and longtime admirers of Hackman's career, there is an undeniable sense of unease that lingers over the circumstances of their deaths. The unanswered questions, the forensic delays, and the lack of an immediate cause of death have left many wondering if more details will ever come to light. As the days pass, theories continue to emerge, with some pointing to natural causes and others considering more obscure possibilities that could explain how both Hackman and Arakawa died in such a tragic and synchronized manner. For Clint Eastwood, the loss of Hackman marks a particularly painful moment in his own storied career. The two had shared a unique bond, built not only on their work together, but on their shared understanding of what it meant to dedicate one's life to storytelling. Eastwood, known for his reserved yet insightful reflections, took his time before speaking publicly about Hackman's death. Now, as he breaks his silence, his words hold a gravity that highlights just how significant a loss this is, not just to those who knew Hackman personally, but to the world of cinema as a whole. In the world of Hollywood, where legacies are often shaped by public narratives and posthumous tributes, the unusual nature of Hackman's passing has added an unexpected chapter to his story. While he left acting behind 2 decades ago, he remained a revered figure, one whose presence was felt even in his absence. His retirement was a rarity in an industry that often sees actors work until their final days, making his decision to walk away from the limelight an unusual but deeply respected move. It was this quiet departure from Hollywood that makes his death all the more striking. He had chosen to spend his final years away from the frenzy of the entertainment world, yet now in death he is once again the subject of intense public attention. Betsy Arakawa's passing alongside him has only deepened the sense of mystery. As a private individual, she was not a public figure in the way Hackman was, and the two had built a life together that was largely shielded from media scrutiny. Those who knew them described their relationship as one of immense companionship, where Arakawa played a key role in supporting Hackman's transition from an active Hollywood legend to a quiet author and family man. It is this deep, almost inseparable bond that has led many to question whether the couple's deaths could have been connected not just by circumstance, but by something even more profound. One prevailing theory among those closest to them is that Arakawa may have suffered a medical emergency, and in his efforts to assist her, Hackman could have overexerted himself, leading to his own sudden demise. At 94 years old, even the stress of such a situation could have been enough to trigger a fatal heart attack or stroke. If Hackman collapsed while trying to help his wife, it would explain why neither of them managed to seek help or call for emergency services in time. The image of two people who had spent decades together, passing away within hours or even minutes of each other, is one that speaks to the depth of their connection. However, the forensic investigation has been painstakingly slow, leaving even the most rational of observers grasping for explanations. Autopsies were conducted in the days following their discovery, but as is often the case with elderly individuals, pinpointing an exact cause of death is not always straightforward. Toxicology reports take time, and without clear signs of foul play, authorities have been careful not to jump to conclusions. Nevertheless, the absence of any immediate answers has only fueled speculation, and the longer the wait for official findings, the more theories begin to circulate. In Hollywood, where many of Hackman's colleagues have aged alongside him, his death has prompted a wave of reflections on mortality and the passage of time. Clint Eastwood, now 94 himself, has seen many of his peers pass away in recent years. The loss of figures like Sean Connery, Sidney Poitier, and now Hackman has highlighted the gradual end of an era in which actors were defined by their gravitas and depth, rather than social media presence or blockbuster franchises. These were actors who embodied their roles, who brought raw authenticity to their performances, and whose work continues to shape cinema long after their retirements. For Eastwood, the death of Hackman represents something more than just the passing of a friend. It is a sign of how Hollywood itself is changing. The kind of storytelling they championed, filled with moral ambiguity, character-driven narratives, and deeply human performances, is increasingly rare in today's industry. Films like Unforgiven, where both Eastwood and Hackman delivered career-defining performances, are now seen as relics of a different era, a time when westerns weren't just action spectacles, but reflections on human nature, justice, and redemption. As the days go by and the investigation continues, there remains an undeniable hope that some form of clarity will emerge. Until then, fans of Hackman's work have turned to his films, revisiting his most powerful performances as a way of honoring his legacy. From The French Connection to Mississippi Burning, The Royal Tenenbaums to Hoosiers, Hackman's range as an actor is once again being recognized. His ability to disappear into roles to bring a grounded intensity to each character he portrayed is what set him apart. It is rare for an actor to have such a profound impact across multiple genres. Hackman's ability to seamlessly transition from crime dramas to westerns, from comedies to psychological thrillers, was a testament to his skill. He was an actor's actor, someone who never relied on gimmicks, but instead on sheer presence and commitment to the role. It is for this reason that his passing has left such a deep void, not just in Hollywood, but in the hearts of those who admired his work. The loss of his wife, Betsy Arakawa, in the same tragic moment has only compounded the sorrow. Though she was not in the public eye in the same way, those who knew the couple have spoken about the strength of their partnership. Theirs was a love story that endured despite the pressures of fame, and their decision to live in relative seclusion speaks to the peace they found in one another's company. As Clint Eastwood and others reflect on Hackman's life and career, there is a sense that this loss is different from the many others Hollywood has experienced. Perhaps it is the mystery surrounding his final days. Or perhaps it is the knowledge that he had chosen to walk away from the industry long before he was forced to. Hackman's retirement had given him a sense of control over his own narrative, allowing him to end his Hollywood chapter on his own terms. That he has now returned to the public consciousness in such an unexpected and tragic way feels almost ironic, as though fate had other plans for how his story would be remembered. What remains now is the search for answers, the forensic examination, the toxicology reports, the continued questioning of those who last had contact with Hackman and Arakawa. These will all contribute to forming a clearer picture of what truly happened in their final moments. Until then, the speculation will continue, as will the tributes to a man whose impact on film can never be overstated. For Clint Eastwood, this loss is both professional and personal. It is the loss of a fellow artist, a collaborator, and a friend who shared his passion for film. It is also a reminder of the fleeting nature of life, a stark acknowledgement that even the greatest figures in Hollywood must one day take their final bow. But if there is any solace to be found in Hackman's passing, it is in the certainty that his legacy will endure. His performances, his contributions to cinema, and the respect he commanded among his peers all ensure that he will never be forgotten. As the world awaits more details about what led to the tragic end of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa, one truth remains undeniable. Hollywood has lost a giant, and the world is dimmer for it. But just as Eastwood himself has said in the past, legends never truly die. They live on in the stories they told, in the lives they touched, and in the memories of those who will forever be inspired by their work. The loss of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa remains a somber and perplexing event that continues to reverberate across Hollywood and beyond. As time moves forward, the questions surrounding their passing persist. But so does the outpouring of admiration for Hackman's towering legacy. His impact on film was not just a product of his talent, but of his commitment to storytelling, his deep understanding of character, and his ability to convey emotion with a quiet intensity that few actors could match. Now, as those who knew him reflect on his life and contributions, it is evident that his influence will continue to shape the industry long after his passing. For Clint Eastwood, who has outlived many of his contemporaries, Hackman's death represents not just the loss of a friend, but a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The two had shared an unspoken understanding. Both men built their careers on grit, authenticity, and an unyielding dedication to their craft. Their performances in Unforgiven remain a testament to the depth of their abilities, a film that went beyond being a Western and became a meditation on morality, justice, and the weight of one's past. Hackman's performance as the brutal sheriff, Little Bill Daggett, was one of his most unforgettable, showcasing his ability to play both hero and villain with equal conviction. Outside of Unforgiven, Eastwood and Hackman had mutual respect as filmmakers and actors who never relied on excess or over-the-top performances. They understood that sometimes the most powerful moments on screen were those left unspoken, where a glance or a simple movement could tell a story. It is this understanding of cinema's language that set them apart from others in the industry, and why Hackman's loss is particularly felt by those who appreciated the artistry of acting beyond mere entertainment. Beyond his collaborations with Eastwood, Hackman was known for his versatility. He did not allow himself to be typecast and avoided repeating himself, always looking for new challenges. This ability to adapt and evolve made him a standout in an era of film where many actors stuck to one genre or persona. Whether he was playing a determined detective, a ruthless villain, or a sympathetic father figure, he did so with an authenticity that left audiences captivated. Betsy Arakawa, too, played a significant role in his later life. While she remained largely outside of Hollywood's public eye, her presence was pivotal in Hackman's decision to step away from acting and pursue writing. She supported his desire for privacy and allowed him to enjoy his later years outside of the scrutiny that often comes with fame. Their bond was one of quiet strength, and it is perhaps fitting that even in death, they remain together. As investigations continue into the circumstances surrounding their passing, one thing remains certain: Hackman's work and influence will never fade. His performances, his choices, and his dedication to his craft ensure that he will remain a legendary figure in Hollywood's history, forever remembered as one of the greatest actors to ever grace the screen. The lingering mystery surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa continues to captivate public interest, leaving both fans and investigators searching for answers. While Hollywood has witnessed the passing of many legendary figures over the years, the circumstances of this tragedy remain particularly unsettling. Unlike cases where the cause of death is immediately apparent, this situation remains shrouded in uncertainty. The lack of immediate clarity has left a cloud of speculation hanging over what should have been a straightforward, albeit sorrowful, moment of mourning. Authorities are carefully piecing together the final days of the couple, retracing their steps to determine if there were any warning signs missed by those around them. Neighbors, close friends, and family members have been questioned to establish a timeline, but so far, nothing unusual has surfaced. The fact that both Hackman and Arakawa appeared to be in good spirits in the weeks leading up to their deaths makes the situation even more baffling. If there had been underlying medical conditions, they had not been widely known, and neither had publicly expressed concerns about their health. Despite his advanced age, Hackman had long maintained a relatively active lifestyle. He had been seen around Santa Fe in the past few months, shopping, dining, and engaging in daily routines like any ordinary retiree. Arakawa, known for her quiet nature and dedication to her home and business endeavors, was similarly active. Their relationship was one built on mutual support and affection, making it difficult to believe that their deaths could be coincidental. The idea that they may have both succumbed to the same undiscovered condition is one that forensic experts are carefully considering. Meanwhile, Hollywood continues to process the loss of one of its greatest actors. Tributes have not ceased since the news broke, and Hackman's name is once again dominating discussions about the golden age of acting. His retirement from the industry 2 decades ago had left a void, but his legacy remained intact. Now, in the wake of his passing, his films are being revisited with renewed appreciation. Younger generations who may have only heard of Hackman in passing are discovering the power of his performances for the first time. Streaming platforms have reported surges in viewership for his most iconic films, proving that his work remains timeless. Clint Eastwood's reflections on Hackman's passing have been among the most poignant. Their connection was one of professional admiration and personal respect. Having lived through decades of Hollywood's evolution, both men understood what it meant to build a career based on integrity rather than fleeting trends. Now, Eastwood stands as one of the last remaining figures from an era that prioritized depth and authenticity over spectacle. The weight of losing a friend and collaborator like Hackman is undoubtedly immense, a stark reminder that even the most enduring figures eventually take their final bow. As the world awaits official findings on the couple's deaths, one thing is certain: Hackman and Arakawa's love and legacy will be remembered far beyond this tragedy. Their story, though ending in mystery, remains one of dedication, talent, and an unwavering commitment to a life well lived. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us. What are your thoughts on Clint Eastwood breaking his silence about Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.